Now, the number of people killed by airstrikes in the Idlib province has risen to 35. Strikes hit as children were leaving school on Thursday in the village of Has. According to UNICEF, 22 of those killed are children. The airstrikes were carried out by either the Syrian regime or Russian warplanes, with both targeting the Syrian opposition. Idlib has largely been in rebel hands since 2015. Well, Ali Mustafa joins us now from Gaziantep in Turkey, near the border with Syria. Ali, over the last few weeks, all the focus has been on Aleppo, but it seems that the fighting is continuing and still intense in Idlib as well.
Indeed, Paul, and we see a shift from Aleppo somewhat, an intensification of the conflict and the bombing in Idlib. Aleppo has taken center stage as far as humanitarian organizations and the international community is concerned, and the situation there remains dire. The regime offensive is continuing despite what Russia called a moratorium on airstrikes by its forces and its aircraft on eastern Aleppo. But Aleppo is still being bombed and targeted. But we see now that Idlib is where the majority of Russian airstrikes and pro-regime airstrikes is taking place, and this is where 35 people were killed in the town of Has in Idlib. For our viewers, Idlib, if Aleppo falls in the future, if the rebel resistance there ends, Idlib will become the center of attention for the rebels. It will be the last major stronghold for the rebels against the regime. You have pockets of resistance in and around Damascus and further south towards the border with Lebanon and so on and so forth. But Idlib is where the resistance, the Syrian opposition, is holed up, and now it seems that the Russians and the regime are targeting this area.
And Ali, of course, while the rebels and the regime battle it out, Daesh still have a big presence in Syria, particularly in Raqqa. Is there likely to be an offensive on Raqqa anytime soon? I believe Washington's made some comments.
Well, if you're to believe the Americans, the offensive on Raqqa, which is the de facto capital of Daesh in Syria, is just around the corner. And the Americans are saying, much to the chagrin of the Turks, that the YPG will play a crucial role in that offensive when it happens. The YPG is part of something called the Syrian Democratic Forces. In fact, makes about 70% of the SDF. It has other Arab militias as well. But the Americans say, and an American general came out on Wednesday and said that the YPG and the SDF is the only force capable of taking on Daesh in Raqqa. This will not go down well in Ankara because Turkey views the YPG as a terrorist organization. It is an offshoot of the PKK, which has been conducting terrorist attacks inside Turkey for some time now. So the Americans aligning themselves and backing the YPG in this situation will be looked at quite peculiarly as far as the Turks are concerned, Paul.
Okay, Ali, thank you very much.